as if her child was trying to communicate with her. She liked it, and it made her feel less alone. "Hello, Sky," Amy said. She couldn't remember exactly when in her pregnancy she'd named her daughter that, but it seemed to fit. The sky was immense and beautiful. It was peaceful at times, yet life-changing and powerful too. "I'm just closing up shop now," Amy went on. She walked over to the front counter, opened the cash register, and began to count the money. "Gemma still isn't here, but I want to make sure that everything is in tip-top shape when she gets back." They'd been best friends since they met in 7th grade. Amy couldn't remember a time, day or night, when Gemma hadn't been willing to drop everything to be there when she needed her. Vice versa, too. Amy wasn't about to let Gemma down now. "This place is a ghost town right now," Amy added. "Most of the stores are shut and the cottages are empty. But from the May-long weekend to Labor Day, it's going to be packed around here. The lake will be crowded with boats, and there will be tourists and vacationers everywhere. Not to mention busloads of campers." She moved from the cash register to restocking the bottled drinks and snacks in the mini-fridge, then started straightening the books on the shelves. The store itself was a former barn that Gemma had painted a bright turquoise. Oddly, it always seemed smaller on the inside than it looked from the outside. In the main room, they displayed newly released and best-selling books, along with DVDs and VHS tapes for rent, since there was no cable television up here and the internet signal was weak. A smaller room off to the side had floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with mostly used books, including an entire back wall dedicated to crime, cold cases, and unsolved mysteries. It was also home to the store's resident conure parrot, Reapy Cheeps. The little bird was only a few months old. His name was a twist on a character from one of Gemma's favorite childhood books. The green and gray conure more than lived up to his name, with constant cheeping and chirping as he bounced around the high shelves. Reapy lived in the store during the warmer months and was allowed to roam free when it was quiet. "See, I'm not alone," Amy told Sky as she continued to tidy. It comforted her to talk to her daughter. "I've got a birdie and a baby on the way. Plus, we had a pretty good day, all things considered. We had 12 sets of customers, which isn't bad for a Tuesday in April. One of them even bought a couple of my postcards, the ones I drew of Reapy. I think I might paint him on the side of the building when the weather gets warmer. We can make him our unofficial mascot." She just had to think positive. Keep moving and not let herself consider that Gemma might not come home. It had been Gemma's idea to start selling Amy's sketches in the bookstore. When some of the customers balked at the sticker price, Gemma then started selling postcard prints of Amy's artwork alongside the originals. There was no way Gemma was about to let anyone haggle over the price of her best friend's art. Gemma had always been protective. Maybe even overprotective. When Amy called her in a flood of tears to tell her that Paul, the man Amy had just eloped with, had turned out to be a liar and a con man who'd robbed her blind, Gemma had immediately driven through the night to pick Amy up and bring her back to the cottage. That was long before Amy even realized she was pregnant with Paul's child. She paused with her hand on a misplaced DVD as a sudden chill ran down her spine at the memory of the man who'd ruined her life. It was my fault for being impulsive. I always jump into things without thinking. And then I ended up prey to an evil man. Sky kicked again, jolting Amy back out of the dark rabbit hole of self-recriminations and regret she had almost tumbled into. It was a hard kick this time, too, and Amy silently thanked God for the distraction. At her last doctor's visit, Amy was told her blood pressure was worryingly high, and she needed to lower her stress level. All the more reason to focus on happy thoughts now, despite how much her memories might want to wander. You know, Gemma and I met up here when we were kids, she told Sky. She's a year older than me, but we did everything together. I don't know if you'll ever have any brothers or sisters. I never did.